Please welcome our next fighter, Philippe Florence!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is sponsored by NutriPoint Slough. And the first fighter out is Philippe Florence, fighting out of Team Bison from London. This is his cage debut. You know, his strengths is wrestling, so obviously C-class MMA would suit him perfectly. And his thoughts on his opponent are basically just to go out there and have fun. And the reason why he wants to fight is because he really enjoys it. His favourite fighter is the none other than controversial Jason Mayhem Miller. So if he's anything like him, you know, this is going to be fun. And basically, again, you know, he's just doing it for a bit of fun. So this is Philippe Florence, Team Bison EFCA.
Please put your hands together for his opponent, Myles Hepburn!
So fighting Philippe Florence from the red corner is Myles Hepburn. Myles Hepburn comes from Slough, local fighter, independent fighter as well. We've seen Myles before on the Blackbeard Fight Series show. He fought in Birmingham, in the Birmingham show. Unfortunately lost that bout, so let's see what he's going to do today.
Yeah, you know, like you said, he's an independent fighter, Myles Hepburn, from Sippenham in Slough, incidentally. And his last fight, as you mentioned it just now, Zubair, it was actually a title fight, light heavyweight title. You know, he lost that unfortunately to a fighter from Birmingham. So yeah, so he's gone from a title fight now, and he's just looking to he's gone down a weight category, and he's, you know, looking at this new category now as maybe being his future.
We're just waiting for Myles to make his way to the cage.
It's definitely a good thing that Blackbeard are enforcing, making sure that all the fighters are definitely prepared to step in. The last thing you want is someone stepping in without a groin guard and then taking an accidental shot.
Okay, so both fighters are ready
This
now.
is a welterweight bout. Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of London, Team Bison, EFCA, Philippe Florence! And his opponent, in the red corner, an independent fighter out of Slough, Myles Hepburn! Our referee, Sam Amity.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the third bout of the evening.
It's a welterweight bout. Myles certainly does look like the bigger man. Looks like he's clawed back a bit more weight. And yeah, Myles was in action in the last title fight in Blackbeard Fight Series 3, and off they go. Let's see if he's put some additions in his game there. Went for the clinch there. Both fighters trying to turn each other around. And it's Philippe who's sort of working for the position. Top headlock position. I don't know how effective that's going to be for Myles. Might be causing discomfort, but I don't think he'll get the tap from here.
I mean, Myles in his first fight that I saw as well, he uses a lot of force and a lot of aggression, and he's come out similar fashion here.
It's a traditional choke. If you can get it.
Schoolyard choke there. You know, if you get it right under the chin, it's actually it actually can be effective.
So Myles has got the body lock on. He's trying to turn Philippe over.
He probably wants to sprawl here, Myles, and just, you know.
Yeah, Philippe's trying to drag the legs away. You know, but at the minute his legs are sort of... Okay, now he's working towards side position maybe. Myles is still holding on to that body lock, and he's kind of switched it to a... It's just making this uncomfortable for him more than anything. It's not going to tap him. He won't choke from this.
So Sean,
I mean, he could switch. He could adjust his legs around and get a triangle, but with both arms in, that's certainly not going to work.
What position do you call this then, Shah?
Sorry.
They're just stuck.
Yeah, it's a very unorthodox move, but you know, if you, like we said, okay, he's come round to the back. Myles, he's got the hooks in. Is he going to work for the choke from there? Philippe is just nicely turned him around. You know, certainly looks like the smaller man. Now he's in Myles' guard. Myles is locking his legs in.
This is as a wrestler, Philippe should enjoy being in this position, but be interested to see what he does from here, because Myles seems to be
He's
quite
doing well with the wrist control. I mean, he's not letting Florence. I mean, he's
Wrist-
just lost one hand there.
wrist control is good if you're going to work for something such as a triangle or something like that. You can move the body positions around. He's got a sort of like extended his legs out into sort of like a scissors guard from inside there. But
I mean, the wrist control, what it is doing, it's stopping Florence from throwing any sort of, punches from the top.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's not really going to be sort of, you can't knock him out. Hepburn does look like the bigger guy, so you might be able to eat some punches. I mean, the wrist control aspect would certainly be controlled to maybe set up a submission or something, a triangle from the bottom. But you saw Hepburn there, he went for the neck of Philippe.
you couldn't really catch someone in a guillotine from inside the guard unless you open up and shift your hips to the side.
To me, it's been a 50-50 round, this, to be honest with you. Both fighters have tussled, a lot of force exerted. I couldn't really say who sort of took that round.
I think Myles definitely was the more powerful of the two, did roll around a bit more, but some of the positions he was going for, I think after a few more fights he'll be able to control where he wants to be.
Yeah, you've got Maki's a man, and you've got Anwar from Blackbeard MMA in Myles' Hepburn's corner, with him being an independent fighter. And Philippe Florence's corner guys from EFC Academy, giving him the necessary instructions.
EFC stands for East Finchley Combat Academy, if you didn't know.
EFCA London.
I'd like to see Philippe put some more of his wrestling into play here.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you're right. Even though Hepburn is the bigger man, I mean, I think Philippe's wrestling with technique, would certainly sort that out.
Right.
We're to round 2 of this welterweight contest. Body kick there by Philippe.
Myles almost gave up his back voluntarily there.
I don't know, it looked like a bit of a jumping knee there by Hepburn.
Be careful with those.
Philippe's gone for the takedown. No, I think he's going to work position here. But again, from the top, Hepburn's got that body lock. It's not really going to be doing anything apart from it being uncomfortable for Philippe.
He's only going to tire out his own arms, and he's actually wasting a lot more energy than he needs to here.
That's right. I mean, it's the same as the first round here, in the same sort of position where Myles is just, holding on.
I mean, he's
Great knee there by Florence.
trying to soften his opponent. He's got the chin
got
around
that.
the neck. Now, this is dangerous. He could go for the choke.
Oh,
It looked impressive, but he actually ended up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
losing his
surprised he
position
didn't
there.
finish him with that, because that looked deep, but I think
mean,
his
if he had-
execution wasn't just right there.
If he had managed to pull guard there, I think he would have probably finished that fight. But unfortunately, in that position, it's a natural ideal defense position just to actually sort of sit down and throw the guy over. But
He could have rolled if he carried on rolling. He could have rolled into a anaconda from that position. Anaconda is like when you have a sort of front head guard, one arm in, the head in, and you both on the floor, and you exert a lot of pressure onto the base of the neck.
Great stuff by Florence there. He just passed guard there into side control now. Myles trying to use the cage to push off.
Philippe is definitely the more experienced of the two when it comes to grappling now, because
steps round to the mat again. There's Philippe Florence, I beg your pardon. He's in mount position now, dominant position. Let's see what he can set up from here. Some hammer fists to soften up the body.
Florence looks tired here as well. I think both fighters have exerted a lot of energy here, and
Yeah, I mean,
What Myles really needs to do here is either push one knee down so he can shift his hips to the side and start to shrimp out.
yeah.
Especially with the cage behind him.
Yeah, you're right. Or maybe like sort of push away from the cage, trap an arm bridge, and you know, roll his opponent over that way just to escape.
At the moment, he keeps reaching up to try and stop Myles' strikes, and that's not.
Okay, well, it looks like Philippe's sinking in a choke. He's flattening him out, and the fight's over.
Fantastic
Philippe
stuff.
Florence with the rear naked choke. Myles Hepburn went to turn, and he immediately flattened him out while he had the hooks in and managed to get the choke.
I mean, he didn't like those strikes, did he? Because he turned straight away, and it just Florence, it's quite easy Florence just to take his back there. I'm not sure what happened there because he was eating a lot of strikes and he just turned.
I don't think it was actually all the strikes. I think earlier on, like, he exerted a lot of pressure rolling around. He was trying to hold Philippe down. He didn't actually control where he wanted to be, how he wanted to take the fight, and yeah, it's just that I think it's just a little bit of inexperience exposing your back like that. It's bad luck. Well done to Philippe, definitely for capitalizing and sinking in the rear naked there. Myles has prematurely walked out just now.
Yeah, it needs to be made official yet before he can walk out.
Miles away.
Yeah, Myles seems okay. That's what it's all about, you know.
Winner, due to tap out via rear naked choke, Philippe Florence!
I mean, let's give it to Myles as well. I mean, he was a late replacement, so we're not sure, you know, what sort of shape he was in coming into this fight. But I mean, well done to Myles for stepping up, getting in the cage, and you know, putting on a performance as well.
100%, you know.
Anyone who's going to step in the cage, you know, it's better than 99% of the people out there who train.
Yeah, you know, he stepped up to the mark. You know, there was a couple of pullouts actually, incidentally, for this fight. So therefore, if Myles did look like the heavier guy, you know, he may have also come in, you know, at a slightly higher weight.